to explore the surroundings and learn new things, to enhance learning by increasing motivation. Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School, Pune brings to you a webinar on nurturing creativity. The more you use, the more you have. To encourage a child to discover his uniqueness, to develop their ability to find various solutions to a problem with innovation. By our speaker, Mrs. Sarita Dimate, to develop and nurture your child's creativity, to promote creative thinking. Our chairman, Sri Subhashji Parmar, has inspired and guided us to refine your ideas, clarify, develop and implement, to experiment with new ways. Let's begin with our today's interesting webinar.
Good morning, everyone. I, Mrs. Sarika Rahul Paigude, on behalf of Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School, welcome you all for our today's webinar, Nurturing Creativity. Many children don't recognize their own creativity. They limit the idea to a product like art or poetry. But research shows that creativity is one of the 8 core abilities that drive successful kids. Keeping this in mind, in our today's webinar, our chief guest, Mrs. Sarita Dimate ma'am, is going to share a lot of valuable information about creativity. Ma'am will be guiding us on how to engage the mind and become a better problem solver, and also help our students to connect with the community and be a valued citizen of future. Hence, we at Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School, under the support and guidance of our chairman, Sri Subhashji Parmar sir, and our respected committee members, have come up with this webinar, which will surely help all of us. Now, I request our principal, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel ma'am, to kindly give a brief information about our school. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sarika. Good morning to all of you. It's a privilege to welcome our guest of honor, Mrs. Sarita Dimate ma'am, an artist, founder, and director of Ritu's Composition, for accepting our invitation and joining us today for the webinar on nurturing creativity. Nowadays, creativity and innovations are becoming extremely important on every aspect, as we all are facing major and rapid changes in the environment. Thus, to cope effectively with these changes, it is our duty as parents and teachers to help our children to become more innovative, developing the ability to quickly plan and implement adoptions to change their environment. Thus, at Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School, we imbibe in every student the skill of exploration and application of creativity. We do encourage our students to participate in various activities like role play, writing, poetry, music, acting, photography, art, digital media, etc. And I'm proud to say that our students interact on international platform where our students showcase their talents and creativity with the students abroad through various traditional and cultural activities which engaged creative mind. I heartily thank our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar sir, for his appreciating ideas. I mention my sincere sense of gratitude to him for coming up with innovations every time and guiding us. Thus, creative thinking inspires ideas, and these ideas inspire change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to introduce our chief guest. It's my privilege to introduce our today's eminent speaker, Mrs. Sarita Dhimate ma'am. Ma'am is an artist, art advocate, and therapist. Ma'am is a founder and director of Ritu's Composition. Sarita ma'am has done masters in handicraft, history of art and psychology. Ma'am has done her GD art from Abhinav Kala Mahavidyalaya. Ma'am has persuaded the art teacher's diploma with psychology. Ma'am is also a certified practitioner consultant from Lifeprint Architect India. Ma'am has been certified for dermatoglyphics multiple intelligence test, biometric analysis. Ma'am has organized many art and meditation sessions, healing and color therapy, creative workshops, art and science-based painting exhibitions too. Ma'am is a mentor, counselor, and director of design schools in India and abroad. Ma'am has done paintings on fabric and also patched portraits, which is a conceptual exhibition based on traditional Vadas. Ma'am has worked with the corporate and private sectors of painting and group exhibitions. The valuable strengths of Ma'am are conceptualizing, training, and developing leaders in art. Ma'am has excellent time management skills and also leadership qualities, which makes her a good and professional practitioner with medium and material. Ma'am has been awarded in recognition for Best Concept at the Art Residency and Festival in Cairo, Egypt in 2016. Ma'am has also represented India for Art Residency in Romania. We are really blessed to have a wonderful personality with us today, who is an artist beyond boundaries, feet on the ground, and who believes that universe is her palette. You are most welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, we would like to hear from you about your views related to our today's webinar, Nurturing Creativity. Over to you, Sarita, ma'am.
Thank you, Sarika. And good morning, everyone, parents, students, and all the well-wishers and the team of Vijay Vallabh. Thank you for the introduction, and my basic view or understanding of creativity is very simple. We all are born with an element which is called as creativity, which is there in everyone. And what happens in our everyday life is what we get engaged with mundane things, compulsive things, things which are driven by others, society, and conditions. And in all this, we fail to see ourselves. And creativity emerges from self. And creativity, in a very nutshell, I feel, is nothing but problem solving. And problems is a very big word, but I would say it is more of challenges, which is more of difficulties that come every day. We call them difficulties or problems because we don't know the solutions or we don't want to go there. But the moment we overcome that, we achieve that, and we find that we are able to solve it and go ahead, I think all of us are very happy about it, and we all feel we have achieved something. We all can see in our everyday life that there are so many times when we are unable to do something, or and we try to ask for help and we don't get at times, but then we start making it happen for us by jugaading things, by looking at certain things, by trying things again and again, and we also try making it happen for us. The moment we have achieved, the biggest joy that we have of achieving that, and that biggest joy is because our creative instincts and our creative intelligence was at par at that time. It was aware, it was more conscious, and we are able to then see ourselves do better. And then you'll also find one more thing, that the fear is gone. So where actually kills creativity. Each of us has 4 intelligence. We all know about IQ. IQ is about intelligence, which is which we call as how much do we know. I would say more than how much do we know, what do we do and how do we apply of what we know. So that's our creative, that is our intelligence, that is called as IQ. EQ is emotional intelligence. We all need emotional intelligence, without which we cannot sense, feel, touch, experience, share, express. We all have that. And that's why we make relations, we bond with things, we feel good, we feel bad. These are all based on emotions. The third intelligence that all of us have is adversity, or AQ, we can call it. Adversity over here is nothing but we all have an ability to overcome certain hurdles, problems, difficulties. Some people you'll find are very easy with solving the problem. They will do this way and they'll do that way and they will try multiple ways. Some of them think twice. Will I be able to do? What will happen? And some of them give up. So there are 3 categories. So your adversity quotient is lesser if you feel you're giving up, and it is more when it is the adversity quotient is more, you are able to solve problems. Now to support adversity, there's the last quotient, that's the 4th quotient, and that's the creative quotient. And we all have, and that is called as problem solving. Means what? Creating new perspectives, creating new approaches, creating new ways of doing things. If it doesn't work this way, we try it the other way. The moment we don't give up, that's the way we can remember and understand that our creative quotient is high. If you're giving up, that means our creative quotient has gone down and we need to work on it. And how do we work on it? There are multiple ways that we can work on it. The basic thing what I feel is our lifestyle. How is our lifestyle? Is it automated? Is it based on something else? Or is it made differently and it is having opportunities and it has ways to look at it? And the moment we have that, I think over the whole conversations, I will unfold a lot of things for y'all. And when I say lifestyle, that's one major aspect of everything. And one more very important thing. We use, a normal man uses only 20% of his brain. So if I'm dividing these 4 questions into by 20, we are using only 5 parts of our brain. So how do we make them better? How do we make our brains more superior? How do we nurture them? How do we nourish them? And that can't be done by just doing a course, I feel. But if we imbibe certain things in our everyday life, we are creative. And that's what is all about. And I think today's conversation and today's topic and today's interactions are all going to be based on it. And I'll try and do my best to actually bring in some highlights of how we can make it better. So I'm thanking the whole team of Vijay Vallabh, and I'm thanking the teachers and everyone. And let's make it happen for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You are surely an eminent personality who deals with the process of bringing out creativity in children. Now, I would hand over to Gitanjali teacher for the interactive session. Over to you, Gitanjali.
Thank you, Sarika ma'am. Once again, a very good morning to all of you. As we all are aware, each day starts with a new beginning. Today, I feel really blessed to have such a wonderful personality, Mrs. Sarita Dhimate ma'am, an artist, founder and director of Ritu's Composition amongst us. After hearing ma'am deliberately, we also strongly feel that creativity is the act of creating something new. It is an ability to develop new ideas and discover innovative ways of looking at the challenges and opportunities. चला तर मग पाहूया मॅमच्या या ज्ञानाच्या पिटाऱ्यात आणखी काय दडले आहे. We all are curious to know more about creativity and eagerly look forward through our webinar, Nurturing Creativities. So let's begin with our creative exploration through a question answers round. Now, I hereby request our parent, Mrs. Sarika Bangar, to ask the first question.
Thank you, Gitanjali ma'am. I parents on Lokesh Bangar. My child study in 4th class. My question is how to recognize and develop the creativity in small children.
Thank you, Sarika ma'am. मॅम, मुलांमधील क्रिएटिव्हिटी म्हणजे सृजनशीलता कशी ओळखायची व ती योग्यरित्या कशी विकसित करायची. ओव्हर टू यू सरिता मॅम.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bangar and Sarika, for translating it for everyone. And I will try and answer it or make it more happen so that everyone understands in mixed languages so that you all can get the essence of it also. So how do we recognize and develop the creativity in small children? The word recognize is very important. Because if we don't recognize, we don't know that we have it. So first of all, like I said in the beginning, that we all have creativity. सगळ्या मुलांमध्ये जन्मजात क्रिएटिव्हिटी असतेच. सगळ्या माणसांमध्ये क्रिएटिव्हिटी ही आहेच. मग ती आपण का दिसत नाही, आपल्याला का दिसत नाहीये. तर एक एक्झाम्पल देते. मूल जेव्हा लहान असतं म्हणजे एक 0 to जन्माला येतं ते 1 वर्षापर्यंत आपण या मुलाबद्दल आपली प्रगती आपण जेव्हा बघतो त्यावेळेला एक मूल चालायला लागतं, स्टार्ट्स वॉकिंग. तेव्हा आपण त्याला म्हणत नाही उठ आता तू 8 महिन्याचा झाल्याचा तू चालला पाहिजेस, आता उठ तू बसला पाहिजेस, असं पण त्याला लहान मुलांना सांगत नाही. आपण त्याची प्रगती बघत असतो सगळ्या टप्प्यामध्ये, सगळ्या दिवसांमध्ये. तो काय वेगळं करतोय, त्याच्याकडे काय वेगळं आहे, तो कसा रांगतोय. आणि इथे आपण दुसऱ्या मुलांबरोबर कम्पेअर करतो, पण नॉट टू से तो फास्ट आहे का स्लो आहे किंवा तो राईट आहे का रॉंग आहे. आपण कम्पेअर करतो हे बघायला की किती वेगळेपणाने सगळेजण करतात. दुसरी गोष्ट, तो जेव्हा चालायला लागतो तेव्हा आपण त्याला असं थोडे म्हणतो पहिलं उजवं पाऊल टाक, मग डावं टाक, मग एवढा इंच वर टाक, एवढा इंच खाली टाक, असं आपण त्याला काही सांगत नाही. आपण तो जसा टाकतोय त्याला तर टाकू देतो, त्याला ते पुढे जाऊ देतो. आणि आपण फक्त ते एन्व्हायरमेंट क्रिएट करतो. तो सेफ आहे ना, त्याला कुठे लागणार नाही ना, रस्त्याच्या मध्ये काही येतंय का त्याच्या. तो पडल्यानंतर आपण त्याला कसं काय पडलास तू, असं कसं आहे, तू चुकलाय, तू हे नव्हतं करायला पाहिजेस, असं काही त्याला ज्ञान देत नाही आपण. आपण त्याला म्हणतो चल उठ आता पटकन, तेव्हा उंदीर मामा पळायला. अँड वी एनकरेज हिम अँड वी सी दॅट द चाइल्ड इज गोइंग अहेड अँड डुईंग थिंग्स. मग माझा असा प्रश्न सगळ्या पेरेंट्सना आणि सगळ्या अडल्ट्सना असा असेल की मग हे सगळं आपण नंतरच्या वयामध्ये का करत नाही या मुलांसाठी. एनकरेजमेंट कुठे जातं, एन्व्हायरमेंट कुठं जातं, आणि आपण त्यांना किती लिस्ट ऑफ डूज अँड डोंट्स देतो. खरं तर आपण त्यांच्याबरोबर हे करू नका, या गोष्टी आहेत, आपला अनुभव चुकीचा असेल तर आपण त्यांना सांगतो की हे बरोबर नाही आहे. म्हणजे आपण त्यांना एक्सपिरियन्स नाही करू देत. पण जेव्हा ते 1 वर्षाचे होईपर्यंत आपण त्यांना सगळं एक्सपिरियन्स करू देतो आणि म्हणून ते पुढे शिकत राहतात. दर महिन्याला तुम्हाला त्यांची प्रगती दिसत असते. म्हणजे पहिला तर माझा असं म्हणणं असेल that I will say that let the child experience and explore. एक्सपिरियन्स का, तर आपला सगळ्यांचा अनुभव नेहमी वेगळा असतो. जे आपल्यासाठी बरोबर नाही झालं ते त्याच्यासाठी बरोबर नाही होणार, हे असं आपण का ठरवतो मुलांसाठी. हो, पण काळजी घ्यायला हवी आहे, कन्सर्न असते. सो आपण मग काय करू शकतो, आपण गार्ड करू शकतो त्यांना, त्यांच्यावरती ऑब्झर्वेशन ठेवू शकतो, त्यांच्याबरोबर गप्पा मारू शकतो, त्यांना विचारू शकतो की अरे काय चाललंय काय नाही. आणि आपले अनुभव आपण नक्की सांगायला पाहिजेत, पण ते लादले नाही पाहिजेत. डोंट फोर्स युअर एक्सपिरियन्सेस ऑन द किड्स. ओपनली शेअर विथ देम, बट शेअर इट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ स्टोरीज. कारण गोष्टी सगळ्यांना आवडतात आणि गोष्टींमध्ये हे मॉरल आहे असं आपण काही ठामपणे सांगत नाही. प्रत्येकजण आपापलं त्यातलं मॉरल आणि इसेन्स घेत असतोच. सो स्टोरीज आर द बेस्ट पार्ट. सो फर्स्ट इज एक्सपिरियन्सिंग. सेकंडली, फीडबॅक देणं पाहिजे त्यांना. पण फीडबॅक कसा द्यायचा? त्यांना ऑर्डर नाही द्यायची, त्यांना हे चुकलं हे बरोबर न बोलता, त्यांनी काय केलं तर छान होईल, त्यांनी काय केलं तर बरोबर होईल, ही गोष्ट. आता या सगळ्यांमध्ये ह्याचा आणि क्रिएटिव्हिटीशी काय संबंध? तर मी जसं म्हटलं की क्रिएटिव्हिटी हे एक आपलं इंटेलिजन्स आहे ब्रेनमध्ये, आणि त्याला आपण जर नर्चर करायचं आहे तर त्याला त्याचं संगोपन केलं पाहिजे, त्याच्यावरती काम केलं पाहिजे, त्याला नरिश केलं पाहिजे. पण हे आपल्या रोजच्या ॲक्टिव्हिटीजमधनं आपण हे त्यांच्याबरोबर करू शकतो. हे पहिलं झालं. आता दुसरी गोष्ट मला पॅरेंट्सना सांगावंसारखं वाटेल की रेकग्नाइज कशी करायची. आपण आपल्या मुलांना जसं 1 वर्षाचे होईपर्यंत आपण त्यांच्या बारीक लक्ष देतो, त्यांच्याबरोबर वेळ घालवतो. मुलं मोठी झाली आहेत म्हणजे आपण वेळ घालवायचा बंद केला पाहिजे, किंवा आपण आपल्या बिझिनेसमध्ये त्यांच्याकडे नाही लक्ष दिलं पाहिजे. असं एक होऊन जातं आपल्याकडनं. सो माय सजेशन वुड बी, जसं आपण दिवसभरात प्लॅन करतो, ही जेवायची वेळ, ही स्वयंपाकाची वेळ, ही ऑफिसला जायची वेळ, ही कामाला जायची वेळ, ही जिमला जायची वेळ, घरातली वेळ कधी ठरवतो? मुलांबरोबरची वेळ का नाही ठरवत आपण? त्यांच्याबरोबर मज्जा करणं, रोज गंमत करणं 24 तासामध्ये आपण करू शकतो. आणि आणखीन एक सेकंडली इज, स्कूल्स आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. स्कूल्समध्ये टीचर्स असतात, त्यांना ते शिकवतात, त्यांना ग्रूम करतात. पण घर पण हे स्कूलच झालं त्यांचं. हे लाईफ स्कूल आहे आणि हे अकॅडमिक स्कूल आहे. हा 2 फरक आहे. तर लाईफ स्कूलमध्ये आपली मुलं आपल्याकडनं बघून शिकतात. दे सी अस अँड लर्न. आपण जेव्हा म्हणतो की वी आर, नन ऑफ द टीचर्स वुड डेफिनेटली से की वी टीच. वी आर डुईंग अ रोल ऑफ टीचिंग. बट द चाइल्ड टेक्स व्हॉट ही लर्न्स अँड सीज, व्हॉट ही वर्क्स. जे आपल्याकडे नसतं आपण तेच घेतो. So that means we only provide environment, we only provide resources, we only provide different things. आणि हे सगळं करत असताना मला असं वाटतं की पेरेंट सपोर्ट, त्यांच्याबरोबर असलेल्या त्यांचं रिलेशन आणि बॉन्ड हे खूप महत्त्वाचं आहे. आणि रेकग्नाइज करायला तुम्ही छोट्या छोट्या गोष्टींचं अप्रिसिएशन करा, त्यांनी केलेल्या गोष्टींचं कौतुक करा. कुठली गोष्ट कौतुक करायच्या आधी, त्यांना फीडबॅक द्यायच्या आधी मला असं वाटतं कौतुक पहिलं करावं आणि मग फीडबॅक नंतर द्यावा. सो एक सिम्पल रूल फॉर पेरेंट्स अँड फॉर इवन द अडल्ट्स इज give a feedback, but before you give a feedback, say 5 good things about the child or his actions or his work, and then give him a feedback. You will find it very miraculous. I hope I've answered this question.
अगदी बरोबर मॅम. थोडक्यात मुलांसाठी पालकांनी नकारार्थक उद्गार हे कमीच वापरायचे, इनफॅक्ट वापरायचेच नाही. ट्रुली मॅम, creativity opens new doors for opportunities and a right guidance help them develop in a positive way. Further, we move on to our next question. I kindly request our parent, Mrs. Premlata Chaudhary, to ask the question.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Premlata Chaudhary. My daughter is studying in senior KG class. My question is, how can parents be the source for exploring creativity in children?
A very important question on parents' part. आपल्या मुलांमधील क्रिएटिव्हिटी ओळखून व त्याला उत्स्फूर्त मार्गदर्शन व वाव पालकांनी कसा द्यावा? ओव्हर टू यू सरिता मॅम.
Thank you, Sarika and Premlata. And how can parents be a source of exploring creativity in children? Like I said, our everyday life and everyday spaces become the first very important source of exploring creativity, enhancing creativity, nurturing creativity. I'll share a very simple sharing. I don't know whether it's an example, but it's a sharing. Uh, why am I creative? I'm very grateful to my father. I grew up in a house. My father was an engineer and very creative. And I grew up in a house where we didn't have a concept of dustbin till I was in 8th standard. And I'm sharing this with a very, very big passion because that is when um, I nurtured my creativity. So if you imagine if there's no dustbin, let's go back and see there are so many things we throw in the everyday life and in our everyday routines. My dad never allowed us to throw anything, but it went as a reverse calculation. So, like whatever was the kitchen waste was used to go to plants. We created manure. Today we talk about vermiculture and house pit, compost pits and all. We had it since then. Vacations, we always had a lot of things like whatever pages of the notebooks have left, remove them, pile them up together. The remaining ones which were used also were kept aside. The covers of it, which were hard bound, was also removed. And all this, he's taught me how to bind the book. He used to sit with us and bind the book. So learning how to bind the book. And that used to become our rough book for the next year. So that was one thing. Then the covers of it. What did we do of covers? So he taught me how to make boxes and make something out of it, and organizers and make partitions for keeping them in the cupboard so that things are kept organized. We also made lots of cards. We also made lots of toys. We also made board games from those thick cardboard covers that we had. Broom. I'm giving all vague examples from everyday life patterns, where when it was a broom, so when the broom used to go away, he used to buy colors and all for me, and then he used to say, "आता तुला काय करायचं ते तर कर." And then there was papers and all. So there was the broom ka front part used to be colored, and then there were some papers and all used, and beads and all used, and it was a flower vase or of flowers made from it, the dry flowers. And the end of the broom, he used to ask us to explore and say, "Chala आपण त्याची आता बैलगाडी बनवू." So it was to be peeled, and the soft part used to be used for having the junction between the two. The peeled part used to be creating the structure. And so if you see, I have not even worn clothes when I was a kid, where my dad used to bring cloth not from the than but from the uh, different cut pieces that were left, and he used to mix and match and create a dress for me, and then he used to give it to the tailor and say, "Ata ह्याचं तुम्ही बनवा." I mean, if you look at it, there were all tiny, tiny things that we have done. I have learned over a period of time with him, seen him do, organize everything, put them all together. He played a very big role model for me. We went to the nature, we had farms, so we had been in farms. मग ते घरटं कसं बनतं बघ, किंवा रस्त्याने खूप चालत जायचो आम्ही, आणि चालता चालता हे बघ, ह्या गोष्टी लक्षात येतात का तुझ्या, हे काय झालंय बघ. I mean, every point of time, the environment was created. I didn't even know uh, how he would understand certain things from me, how he would make me do certain things. It was not making me do. It just went, it was a part of the flow. It was in the whole environment. And I think all parents can be that way. मग असं पण पेरेंट्स म्हणू शकतात की अरे आम्ही खूप बिझी असतो. I understand. It is a need today. But nurturing the child is also a need. And I feel की त्यासाठी एन्व्हायरमेंट क्रिएट करणं हा आपला मेजर जॉब होतो. मग आता तर आपल्याकडे खूप जण शिकवायला येऊ शकतात, शिकायला येऊ शकतात, 4 त्यांची मित्रमंडळी येऊ शकतात. That is one more thing which can be the thing. So this was one small incident that I have shared, or the learning that I went through. Second thing, I feel the parents can look at life as fun. आपण त्यांना खूप भीती आणि कंडिशन्सनी जगायला शिकवतो आणि तिथे क्रिएटिव्हिटीला आपण त्यांच्या मारतो. सो ते नाही व्हायला पाहिजे किंवा त्या गोष्टी अवॉइड करता आल्या तर जास्त चांगल्या आहेत आणि आपण पण ॲज फन म्हणून जगलं पाहिजे. सो द क्वेश्चन ओव्हर हिअर इज की एक्सप्लोअर कशी करायची क्रिएटिव्हिटी, म्हणून मी तुम्हाला हे सगळे एक्झाम्पल्स देते. तर तुमच्या घरामध्ये खूप गोष्टी आहेत. आपलं घर एक संपूर्ण जग आहे, म्हणून त्याला आपण होम म्हणतो. त्याच्यात सगळं आहे, वस्तू आहेत, प्रेम आहे, कम्पॅशन आहे, भांडणं पण आहेत, मज्जा पण आहे आणि इक्विप्ड आहे. म्हणजे त्या घरामध्येच आपण खूप साऱ्या गोष्टी एक्सप्लोअर करू शकतो. आपण काम करत असताना त्यांना मदतीला घेणं, चल मी हे असं करते, तू करून नको, कसं वेगळं करतोयस. सो मी हे पर्टिक्युलरली लाईफ आणि रोजच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये स्ट्रेस का करते, कारण त्याच्यासाठी वेगळा वेळ नाही तुम्हाला काढायला लागणार आहे. ते काम करत असतानाच तुम्ही त्यांच्या बरोबरीने जेव्हा करता तेव्हा, किंवा ते तुमच्या बरोबरीने करतात, इदर वे राऊंड इज अनदर वे टू लुक ॲट इट. आणि म्हणून मी म्हणते लाईफ इज फन. लाईफ इज फन वर्सेस आपण कंपल्सिव्ह गोष्टी करतो किंवा चॉईस करतो. तर मजा कशात येते, जेव्हा फन असतं तेव्हा येते का जेव्हा आपण कंपल्शनने करतो तेव्हा. तर आपण आता दिवसभरात एक लिस्ट जर बनवली की आपण किती गोष्टी आउट ऑफ कंपल्शन करतोय, तर तीच गोष्ट कन्वर्ट जर आपण फनमध्ये करू शकलो तर दे विल ऑल्सो लर्न टू डू दॅट. सो दिस इज हाऊ यू क्रिएट अन एन्व्हायरमेंट. छोटे चॅलेंजेस क्रिएट करणं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, चॅलेंजेस आणि का क्रिएट करायचं ते सांगते. चॅलेंजेसमुळे आपल्याला रिस्क घेण्याची सवय लागते. आपल्याला तीच गोष्ट परत वेगळ्या पद्धतीने करण्याची एक दृष्टिकोन मिळतो. आणि आपण एकमेकांकडनं, म्हणजे घरात जर 4 माणसं असतील तर 4 दृष्टिकोन झालेच. आणि मग कोणाचा तरी राईट अँड रॉंग करण्यापेक्षा कोणाची वे पटकन आपल्याला त्या गोलपर्यंत रीच केलं. चला पटकन, कोण पटापट घर आवरतंय, कोण पटापट ह्या गोष्टी करतोय. सो एक टाइम लिमिट लावणं किंवा चल तू एवढ्या वेळामध्ये हे करून दाखवू शकतोस का मी माझी बॅग आवरून दाखवतो. ही एक गोष्ट झाली. वन क्लासिक एक्झाम्पल, वाय डू वी ऑल लाईक टॉम अँड जेरी इवन इफ वी आर नॉट यंग टुडे. किंवा मुलांनाही ते खूप का आवडतं. खरं तर बघायला गेलं तर टॉम अँड जेरीमध्ये आपण फक्त हेच बघत असतो की टॉम प्रॉब्लेम क्रिएट करतो आणि जेरी सॉल्व्ह करतो, जेरी प्रॉब्लेम क्रिएट करतो आणि टॉम सॉल्व्ह करतो. आणि आपण तीच त्यांची एक वेगळ्या पद्धतीने ते सॉल्व्ह करण्याची गंमतच आपण एन्जॉय करत असतो. आणि आय थिंक दॅट इज व्हॉट इज क्रिएटिव्हिटी, इजंट इट. तिथे आपण हसतो त्या गोष्टीला. वी सी चार्ली चॅप्लिन, ही कीप्स falling, doing problems, doing silly things, doing stupid things, and we laugh at him and we laugh at it. But we also understand that this is possible. I mean, isn't that fun? ज्यांच्या घरी पेट्स आहेत, they will also try and understand what I'm saying is की त्या पेट्सना बघून सुद्धा ही मुलं शिकत असतात. कशा छोट्या छोट्या गोष्टींमध्ये डेव्हलप होतात. त्यांना कोणी शिकवत नाही, त्यांना कोणी सांगत नाही किंवा त्यांची काळजी घेत असताना ती कशी काळजी घेतात. सो अनदर पॉइंट दॅट आय वॉन्ट टू ड्राईव्ह इज गिव्ह देम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. वेन अ चाइल्ड इज बीन गिव्हन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, त्याचा अर्थ असा होतो की तुम्ही त्याला एक लीडर बनवताय. तुम्ही त्यांच्यातलं एक इनिशिएटिव्ह अबिलिटी तयार करताय. यू आर ऑल्सो सीइंग दॅट त्यांच्यातलं फिअर घालवत आहे. चुकलं ना, राहू देत, आपण बघूया काय करायचं आहे, पण तू कर तर खरं. आणि चौथी गोष्ट, मी काहीतरी करू शकतोय, हा जो एक सेल्फ बिलीफ त्यांच्यामध्ये आपण तयार करतो, हे फक्त पेरेंट्स करू शकतात आणि नंतर स्कूल आणि टीचर्स करू शकतात. सो दिस इज माय सेकंड थिंग, हाऊ टू डेव्हलप अँड एक्सप्लोअर क्रिएटिव्हिटी इन दॅट, अँड हाऊ कॅन पेरेंट्स बी अ सोर्स ऑफ इट. Another thing which I also feel is we should stop comparing our kids with anybody, any other child. कारण ते चाइल्ड त्या एन्व्हायरमेंटमध्ये ग्रो होत असतं आणि तुमचं चाइल्ड तुमच्या एन्व्हायरमेंटमध्ये ग्रो होत असतं. प्रत्येकाचे एन्व्हायरमेंट्स वेगळे असतील तर ते सगळे एकसारखे कसे होतील? आणि समजा ते एकसारखे झाले, तुम्ही एक मिनिटं विचार करा, आपण सगळे रोबोज होऊन जाऊ. आपण युनिक आहोत, हेच खूप महत्त्वाचं आहे. म्हणून आपल्याकडे वेगळे आयडियाज आहेत, वेगळ्या गोष्टी आहेत. म्हणून वेगळं काही करण्यामध्ये कधी पण घाबरायचं नाही, कारण आपण सगळे वेगळे आहोत. I think this is what I would like to tell Premlata and on behalf of Premlata to all the parents and all the teachers and adults. Thank you.
थँक्यू मॅम. आपल्या या घररूपी छोट्याशा जगात आपल्या आयुष्याची क्रिएटिव्हिटी एक्सप्लोरेशनची सुरुवात होते. जसं मॅमनी सांगितलं, पेरेंट्स कॅन बी द जेन्युइन सोर्स टू एक्सप्लोर द क्रिएटिव्हिटी इन चिल्ड्रन by triggering their creativity and providing opportunities to express their intelligence. Thank you, ma'am. As we are proceeding further, I myself, Gitanjali Gullapilli, being a teacher, is curious to know how can I develop my own creativity to channelize the students' developmental stage. मॅम, जसे की सर्वांनाच माहिती आहे की प्रत्येक टीचर ही एक आर्टिस्ट असते, जी आपल्या प्रत्येक मुलाला तिच्या सृजनशीलतेप्रमाणे घडवत असते. तेव्हा प्रत्येक मुलाच्या सर्वांगीण विकासासाठी आपण आणखी काय करू शकतो? ओव्हर टू यू मॅम.
Thank you, Gitanjali. This is a wonderful question. I, being a teacher, how can I develop my own creativity to channelize the students, develop in their developmental stage, and also be a creative person? Teacher's profession is a profession based on creativity. If a person is creative, he can teach, is what I believe. So in our Gurukul system, a teacher never gave solutions. He always told a child to explore. And I think we all can do that as well. Like I said, parents are the first source of creativity. The teachers are also the first most source of creativity because they are dealing with two different environments. One is dealing with the social background, that's teachers, and parents are dealing with the value backgrounds. But both interchange the spaces. And teacher also becomes the second mother of the child. And whatever I've told for the mothers is same for the teachers, because you are also someone's mother, someone's sister, someone's daughter also, because we eventually take care of our parents also. I also feel that teachers are nothing but channels, like parents are sources. When I say channels, what do I mean by channels? They create the pathways. They create the different ways according to what the child requires. So being a catalyst, that means wherever the child is falling short, you just instigate them, you push them, you prompt them, you give them clues, you create an environment, you compare and then tell them or give feedback. So being a catalyst. Second is, the biggest job of a teacher is to create an environment of learning. Create an environment where the child feels at home when he is at school. He doesn't feel alienated. He doesn't feel isolated. He doesn't feel intimidated. He feels at home. Our times have changed, patterns have changed, but a teacher is not changed, and teacher never should change. Their role as a channel and their role as a second mother has to keep on happening, because These children are going to be our future. This is one thing I always feel is, how do I want to be treated or live a life when I'm old? This is my question I asked to myself. And my answer is, I want people who will love me, whether they're strangers or they're the ones who know me. When I'm crossing the road, I want someone who can hold me and then cross the road. I want someone who can come and help me at times. I want someone who will make things happy for me. It could be the environment, it could be my space, it could be on the road, it could be streets, it could be public space, anywhere. I should not feel insecure that I'm old. I should not feel lonely when I'm old. And everybody around should be there. Now, if I don't create, as a teacher, an environment for my today's kids, which are my future for tomorrow, I don't think I'm doing anything good for myself or to themselves or to the society. Because like me, there are going to be many. And they're going to be not just their grandparents, it could be somebody else's also. And I think that's very important. So when a teacher says something, the child imbibes it as a command, not in a wrong way, in a right way. So what commands are the teachers giving? Do they believe in it? Do they practice it? Do they make it happen for themselves, that they're setting a live example to the kids? So teachers are an amazingly big inspiration for the generation now and ahead. There are going to be exceptions, but let me tell you a little story, a story of inspirations. So there's a lotus pond, and at the end of the lotus pond, that is in the water, it's all mucky because the lotus is in a mud. And at the end of the lotus pond, there are a lot of bugs. These bugs are living there. Many bugs are there. In a personified manner, one of the bugs is very curious because he has seen that the other bugs there are few bugs who are living as they are, and there are few bugs who have climbed the stalk of the lotus, and they've gone. They don't come back. Where have they gone? No one knows. And when he's so curious, every time there are some bugs going, and they don't come back. Where are they going? So he calls a meeting of all the bugs, and he says, see, I have observed this. Have you all observed it? They say yes. So then let's find out, no? So let's make a promise to ourselves that whoever amongst us climbs the lotus stalk and goes to the other world, where do they go? What is that world all about? We'll definitely come and tell each other. They make a promise to all. Each one makes a promise to each other. One fine day, this smart bug, he himself has started climbing the lotus stalk. And he climbs and he reaches to the surface of the water. Now, when he reaches to the surface of the water, what does he see? He sees fresh air, sunlight, beautiful colors, nice soft breeze flowing, flowers are everywhere. It is so fresh, not dingy at all. And he's so happy. He says, my God, there's another world altogether over here. What are we doing down there? And then he realizes one more thing. He says, I have now started getting wings. How? And he sees that he has now turned into a dragonfly. Now, this little bug has become a dragonfly. And the dragonflies have been blessed to hover, to move around. They're hovering and they're hovering and hovering. And he keeps hovering. Goes from this lotus to that lotus, this leaf to that leaf, sucks the nectar, drinks the dewdrops, and he's damn happy. He's happy and he doesn't know what to do. So he's everywhere and on every leaf and every flower. Now what happens? he realizes something. Some realizations he has. So he's sitting on the lotus leaf and he's thinking, if I can come up, why can't the other bugs come up? He says, yes, they should come up. But he also realizes that he made an effort to climb the lotus top, and hence he has done it. So he has to initiate and he has to take risk. That was his first realization. Second realization, I have promised my friends to go back and tell. Even if I want to go and tell somehow, will they recognize me? Because I've changed, I'm not a bug anymore. So the major realization over here is they will have to pull themselves up to come here and become a dragonfly to understand what I am going through. So experience. So experience has to be there. They have to come to my level. So that's the second realization. Third realization. He says, somehow I go and actually meet them and tell them and show them what it is. I can't do that. He tries, because if he gets into the water, his wings are going to go. Then he says, I can't do anything. I'm helpless. But he says, no, I can't be helpless. This is a beautiful world. I want them to come here. So what can I do? What is it that I can do? Is what is his third realization. I need to think. I need to come up with options. And the fourth realization he has, he says that I'm going to keep hovering over the pond. Hover and hover and hover. Sometime somebody down there will be inspired, seeing my actions, and make an effort, take the risk, and will climb the lotus stalk. So each one of us has an experience of their own. So teachers and parents, both of y'all, my biggest request and understanding would be that can we be enough inspiring that we don't need to tell them what to do. They just act looking at us. We become their idols. We become their inspirations. We become their supports. We become not their goals, but definitely a strength which will help them to bring their own powers up. So this is my second understanding of how teachers can be. And then in that case, the teachers will have to live a life of inspiration. So we have to make modifications in our life. We have to do creativity in our everyday life, doing the same thing again in a different way. Because we are not working just with content. Content is the medium. It's a way to deliver. But what we are working on with them is on the mental and emotional health. So we will have to make our mental and emotional health better. So we will have to make changes in our lifestyle, make changes in our way of looking at things, and become inspirations. And the third thing which I feel in all of it is, I feel our students are our mirrors. If a child is not interested or bored or fails in doing something, our inspiration has become a little less, or we need to work on more inspirations is what we need to take a message. So Gitanjali, and behalf of every teacher, I've shared exactly what I live. So I hope I've answered your question.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Being the teacher, it is our duty to become more practical than just giving out the theories. Teacher plays a crucial role in cultivating and developing creativity and confidence in students. Thus, teachers are the source of active and practical learning through meaningful teacher-student interaction. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, amongst us is a student of Standard 9th, Srishti Katare, who would like to ask a question. Over to you, Srishti.
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Srishti Katare. I study in 9th class. My question is, what are the aspects for creating career in creativity from childhood?
व्हेरी वेल पुट फोर्थ सृष्टी. मॅम, अगदी लहानपणापासूनच जर आपल्याला मुलांमध्ये क्रिएटिव्हिटीशी निगडीत करिअर घडवायचे असेल तर त्यांच्याशी निर्धारित विविध पैलू हे कोणते? ओव्हर टू यू सरिता मॅम.
So good morning, Shrishti, and thank you for the question. And Gitanjali, thank you. So Shrishti, you are asking me what are the aspects of creating a career in creativity from childhood. So Shrishti, I hope you've been listening to all what I've been saying to your parents and your teachers and to everyone. So I'm going to talk about different aspects, but this time I'm not going to talk about, I'm going to make you do something. And it could be the parents who are here also can try what I'm saying. And you all can have your papers and pen ready, and I can make you do certain things. And let's see what I'm talking about is what we can do. And understand those aspects. And you must be doing it in our everyday life, but how will you, what is the conclusion you will come to? So that's what we'll do. So let me just focus on the paper that I have. So Shrishti, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Shrishti, this is a question for you and for others also. So Shrishti, what is this?
Square.
Square. Great. I'm going to put a timer of 1 minute, 60 seconds. That's what I mean. And it goes to everyone. Can you make a square using different shapes? So you can use a paper and put your ways of making the square. And your time starts now. So maybe what I can do is also just play a small music so you all can just or I can just put a timer, however is possible. So when you're making the square, there could be multiple shapes and multiple forms, and there can be any amount of it, but all when you put together becomes a square. So let's see how many of you all can make as many possible in this 1 minute time. Last 35 seconds remaining. Okay, great. Time up. So Shrishti, let's see what you have done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, is there anybody else also who's trying to show me which are the different ways to do? Shushi, thank you. Any parent, any teacher over here, have you all tried it to show yours?
Ma'am,
Yes.
house, wheel.
Okay. Lovely. We have one more parent who is doing. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So let me just show you a very simple way of, see, we all did, everything is perfect. Now what is to be understood is just see on my sheet. I'll just show you what I'm trying to say. If this is a square and I'm dividing it into, so 2 triangles made a square, 4 squares made a square, 4 triangles made a square, 1 half circle and a U kind of thing made a square, a circle and a space around the circle made a square. Now see, what are we doing? It's damn simple. Why do we have to make things complicated? So explore. Explore. There is nothing right and wrong in this world at all. Even if I'm making this way, where I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 3 lines made a square, or 3, 4 bars made a square. I mean, it's the same thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about you making a square. And I allowed you to do every kind of shape. So was it fun, Shrishti?
Yes, ma'am.
It was, right? And was it very simple?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing, Shrishti, is we have to learn to explore. We have to do it. You can do it with maths, you can do it with history, you can do it with geography, you can do it with every subject. There is no way that you can say is right or wrong. The more you have fun in doing, the more that much you are going to learn. And that's the best part of everything. Now, the second thing is experiencing it. If somebody tells you, Shrishti, okay, let's say everybody over here is going to eat a chocolate and is going to, and you're not going to get a chocolate, but you're going to listen to all the experiences of how a chocolate tastes, how it looks, what is the shape of it, what is the color of it, what are the flavors of it. Do you feel you're eating a chocolate then? Shrishti?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You feel you're going to eat
Okay.
a chocolate? No,
No,
right?
no, no.
No, that means you have to eat a chocolate to understand and experience it. Correct or wrong?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Perfect. So that means if you say you don't want to do something, that means you're not going to experience it. So the second thing is we need to experience it. Third is have fun. Don't be serious about the outcome. कि मेरा करेक्ट होगा, मेरा रॉन्ग होगा, मुझे टीचर 5 मार्क देने वाली है, मेरा peer neighbor अच्छा कुछ करने वाला है, मेरा कम है, I am not good at it. Don't do that. When you're doing it, you have fun. When you have fun in it, everything is happy. See, when you're competing, you do competition in 2 times. So Shrishti, you do competition once when you are doing a test and you're running for marks. Yeah. And the second time is when you're playing games. तो गेम्स में अगर तुम हार जाते हो तो वैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता. यू मस्ट बी प्लेइंग मेनी गेम्स लाइक लूडो एंड स्नेक एंड लैडर एंड cards, and you will be playing some other games like langdi and a lot of these things. So when you play a game, you lose also and you win also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes you lose and sometimes you win. But do you go to play for win and lose? Do you play games to do winning and losing, or you go for fun?
I go for fun.
Exactly. So why can't we do our studies in fun? Why can't do our jobs in fun? Why can't we bring in fun every time? Do you know we are supposed to be on this earth only to have fun? Okay, so this is fun. Appreciating and comparison. When we compare, we see wrong things. We focus on wrong things. But when we appreciate, we also see the right things. That means everyone comes with a different perspective, right? So let me also now create something more, another game for y'all. So, and little more activity. So others, everyone, even the teachers can just take a paper and pen. And I would like to focus on my sheets again. So I'm just drawing a few things. Let's say I'm just putting some random things for y'all, which are there. Just I'll turn the sheet so that everyone can see it well. Yeah. Then and I will draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 things that are there. So everyone can see this. So there's a flower, a pencil, a pot, ruler, apple, leaf, a toy engine, and a watermelon. Now, what you're going to do is each one of you are going to create a set. Sets of it. You can create your own sets. You can categorize. You can put 2 things, 3 things of the same set. Can you make 2 sets or 3 sets of it? So I'm giving you 30 seconds to do the sets. And then I'm going to ask each one of you all, what is your set telling about? So you can just write the sets. You can write them. You don't need to draw. Write set 1 is this and set 2. And there has to be some understanding of why you're making it in sets. So your time starts now. Okay, lovely. So flower and leaf is because they go together. Apple and watermelon because they are both are fruits. Ruler and pencil because they both are stationaries, right? Okay. Who's? Shrishti.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so you got the answer. So someone else also can share their sets made. Okay, you've drawn it. Lovely. So you tell me what flower and leaf, apple and this thing, and toy and the pot. So why did you put the toy and pot together?
They're toys.
Okay, they both are toys, and that's why. Okay, lovely, lovely. Can I have one adult categorization or the sets done? Any one? Has anyone done it? Okay, Sarika, yeah. Let us, Sarika, show me. Okay, so almost everyone is on the same page. Fair. Any other new answer anyone has?
Ma'am, I've made the set of watermelon, apple in the engine, along with the engine. These fruits are going to come with the engine. And flower and leaf, I put it with the pot because it's the requirement. And pencil and ruler has gone together.
Oh, wonderful. Lovely. So now, are you all just seeing what happened? Shrishti, are you realizing what happened? Everyone had their different answers and nothing felt wrong. Nothing felt incorrect. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when we appreciate and compare, we learn. We learn a lot. The next thing that I feel we should have when we are nurturing our creativity is focusing. Now, what is focusing? Focusing on what? Focusing on time, focusing on mind, and focusing on body. Now, when you feel you are bored and you're yet keep doing something, that means you're not focusing on something. So when I say focusing on time, means you can time yourself that this 15 minutes I'm going to work on whatever I've decided, and I will not deviate myself here and there. And when I'm not deviating myself from here and there, 15 minutes and stop, and then again take a break and then do something else. So when you're focusing, you're learning much more better. The 20% of the brain that I said is working, your creativity is going to increase like nobody's business. It's going to be more faster. It's going to absorb as much as possible. And body, if your body is tired, if your mind is busy with something else, or it is watching something else, or if your friends have gathered together and you're not going there, your mind is going to be very busy with what is happening there. You're not actually doing something. So you have to take care of your mind, body, and yourself, and then also take care of the time that you're spending. So let me now play one more activity with you to show how focus happens. So now everybody can take a paper and pen, and every time I'm going to give you only 10 seconds, not more than that. So are we all ready? So this time you are just going to write. I have nothing to show on the paper, but so this activity is where you're going to write down as many as you can. So let's say write down the things that are there in the fridge. Your 10 seconds starts now. List down the things that you see are in the fridge. Stop. How many did you do? Just write the total over there. Okay. Now, further going, next 10 seconds. Write down all the things that are white in the fridge, white in color in the fridge. Your time starts now. Stop. Now again count the things that you've written and make the total at the bottom. Okay, third part. Now you write the things that are in the fridge. They are white in color and they are all sweet. Time starts now. Stop. And again make your total. So Shrishti, tell me what happened in the first. What was your total in the first?
5.
5. And in the second?
1.
Really? Okay. And in the last one? Empty? Nothing. Okay. So fair. But when I asked you what is in the fridge, did you visualize the fridge?
Yes.
And when I said white objects in the fridge, did it make a focus on your mind?
Yes.
Okay. And when it became sweet white thing in the fridge, what happened?
I just focused on the things which are white and which are sweet. So,
But then you didn't have anything.
okay.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to share?
First, I had 7 things in my mind, then it went to 4, and then it decreased right to 1. So when the scope was big, you start thinking bigger. But when you have to focus, you have to mentally, you have to be very stable, and then you stuck up over there.
Perfect. Thank you, Gitanjali. This was exactly what I wanted to drive. That focusing is not easy, but it definitely brings you to a concrete result. But if you practice this every day, then our minds are actually you can train your minds. That's the biggest thing. So if you train your minds to focus, you're able to focus. So that was my second thing. And now the last thing that I want to share is, Shrishti, is do everything uniquely, differently. Why am I saying uniquely? Because we are all unique. We are all different. So we should not be scared doing something your own way. You don't need to prove yourself, but you need to do it your own way. When you find what is your way, that is your way. And you should celebrate that you're able to do it your way. So to parents and to teachers and to all the adults, a lot of kids are living with a lot of fear nowadays. They're living with conditions like and beliefs that I have to be right. I have to be appreciated. I have to be accepted. And creativity over there is falling short. Adversity is gone for a toss. So experiencing, exploring, having fun, appreciating, and focusing. If we can actually bring these aspects into their everyday life, in everyday work that they're doing, I think there won't be creativity. There won't be a dearth of creativity. There will be lots of creativity, and there'll be a creative person is definitely a confident person. A confident person can do things in a different way, and that's how creativity is also defined. So provide them is what I would say. So I hope, Shrishti, I have answered your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really fun. We should train our minds not to be judgmental. It is rightly said that providing an array of experience to build our children's foundation is the correct channel to explore their creativity. Innovations or changes should be based on tomorrow and not yesterday, and to do the simple things without making it complicated and to enjoy the situation. We move on to the next question, ma'am. I request a student, Arya Paigude of Standard 6, to ask her question.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Arya Rahul Paigude from 6th A. Ma'am, I would like to ask you how to create interest in a particular subject through creativity.
नाईस क्वेश्चन आर्या. मुलांमध्ये एखाद्या विशिष्ट विषयाबद्दल क्रिएटिव्हिटीद्वारा आवड कशी निर्माण करू शकतो आपण? ओव्हर टू यू मॅम.
Thank you, Gitanjali, and thank you, Arya. Arya, nice to hear this question from you, how to create an interest in particular subject through creativity. So Arya, you were a part of all the activities that I did and I've been talking, right?
Yes.
And you had fun. Arya, you had fun?
Due to network issue, Arya is unable to.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Yes. So, Arya, would you like to play a game again?
Yes.
You would? Lovely. So now, do you want to have your paper and pen ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and the others also can play this game or this activity. Okay, Arya, write. You can draw if you want, if you like to draw, or you can write, however. So again, I'm going to give you 10 seconds, 30 seconds. How many seconds do you want? 30 seconds or 10 seconds? 15 seconds?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, fair. So draw all the things or write all the things that are round.
Okay.
Make a list of things that are round. Okay, Arya. How many objects could you draw or write?
7.
Can you show them to us?
Yes, I will read about
Yes, you can read.
clock, moon, ring, plate, sun, bowl, and bangle.
Okay. You did a clock, sun, moon, round, bangle. So you did it from everywhere, right? Or everywhere
Yes.
that you found. Now let's say you make a list of things that are round but are flat. Ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what's your list now.
Cake, peda, chapati, dosa, and biscuit.
Oh, okay. So more things added. So did you have fun?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you learn today?
To be focused.
To be focused. Okay. Did you also learn that different shape, same shape, but different things are available? Did you listen? Did you see that you were able to think faster when you did it in fun way?
Yes.
Okay. So to answer your question, how can you make it interesting? Everything that you do, if you can make it interesting by doing different things in different ways or same thing in different ways, and that's the biggest thing. So to the parents and the teachers, I would say that can you do the same thing differently every day? Like another thing which I would say, Arya, is now what is an everyday thing? Can you every day you brush your teeth with your right hand, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one day you brush it with your left hand. What will happen?
Okay, surely.
What will happen, do you think?
Like I will do different.
You'll do
Means
different. And do you think it will be boring or it will be interesting?
interesting.
Why do you think it will be interesting?
Because I'm doing different.
You're doing different. Okay. Just make an action of brushing your teeth with your left hand. Can we have the focus on Arya, please?
Okay.
Okay. And do it with your right hand. Do it with your right hand. Oh, you were faster with your right hand and you were slow with your left hand. Now what?
Because my left hand is different to do.
You're not using it every day, but was it fun? Did you focus on when you did it with left hand?
Yes, I focused.
Yes, perfect. So did I give you your answer?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Gitanjali.
Thank you, ma'am. Exactly, ma'am. When the things are to be done on daily basis are done in an innovative and fun way, it not only helps to create interest, but also develops the dedication towards the work allotted. Now we move on to our next question. I request Mrs. Aparna Daigude ma'am to ask a question. Over to you, Aparna ma'am.
Yes, good morning. I, Aparna Daigude, would like to ask a question. How to discover the hidden talent of a student and transform it into their passion?
वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन अपर्णा मॅम. मॅम, प्रत्येक मुलांमध्ये काही ना काही लपलेल्या प्रतिभा असतात. ती आपण ओळखून व क्रिएटिव्हिटीद्वारा परिवर्तित करून त्यांच्या पॅशनमध्ये कन्वर्जन कसे करू शकतो? प्लीज कुड यू गाईड अस. ओव्हर टू यू सरिता मॅम.
Thank you, Aparna, and thank you, Gitanjali. It's a very important question, I believe. And we always are in a search of what is good for our kids, where will be they happy, what can they do the best, how can their future be created with all of it, which is correct in one way. But have you also seen that in our everyday life there are so many things that we do and we don't know that they are so. We learn all of these in isolation. We learn all of them in separation. So, for example, history, geography, English, math, science, physics, chemistry. Um, Home is different, school is different. Everything we are looking at everything in isolation. What do I mean by isolation? We are looking at them as a separate space, separate learning mode, separate modality. Are they separate? Yes, they are separate. But can we learn them in integrated way? Now, when I say what is integrated way, science has physics, chemistry, biology. History has history, talking about everything before. how many times do we actually explore the two subjects together? How do we take up two subjects as a blend? How we integrate it is also very important. And when we see this integration, we are able to see a larger picture. I'll give you a very concrete example of what I'm saying. Um, a housewife or a chef are actually doing the same job. One is doing it professionally and one is doing it at the home level. But the job is they're mixing physics, they're mixing chemistry, they're mixing materials, they're mixing emotions, they're mixing psychology, and they're putting everything together. They're also doing an ability to express and appreciate. And when we say all of this, what are we looking at it? It is an art. Now I'm coming to the crux of everything that we have been speaking up till now, is that art is the subject, or art is the skill which blends everything together. And I'll give you further examples which will help you to see careers. So I'll answer the first part of your question, where how do we discover the hidden talents? So right now, up till now, I said there are different activities, there are different things, there are different mediums and different ways that we can do it in our everyday life. We are going to make uh, an observation about it, about a child. So from the day the child is born till he's 1 year old, we are actually observing him every day. We are also journaling him by making a scrapbook, making a album, and we have his measurements of his head and neck and height and weight and everything. We also we save his pictures and incidences of when did he first start speaking, what was his first word he spoke, when was his first solid meal he had, when was he took his step. What are we doing? We are actually journaling. So why not journal our child's growth standard? I feel that first 7 years he is growing emotionally, physically, mentally, and the next 7 years he is actually applying what he's learned and he's developed into the outer world. And that's why we put them into schools which are open spaces, but again are fortified, taken care, concerned. School spaces are there to explore and see how this child in this 7 years with the parent has groomed, and now he's applying it into the society, into his life, into the skills. Why don't we also um, uh, document or journal the child's first things in his life, which you will, when you see in the years that comes, when you're actually deciding his career as a parent, you would have observed his notes, his growth, his achievements, his developments. Because we get a medal and a certificate, we put it into the house and we praise it. That's not just his achievement. There are many more achievements he's done. First time he's written with a pen. That's an achievement. First time he's used an ink pen. Achievement. First time he's packing his bag. Achievement. First time he's studying his, let's say science is now modified to physics, chemistry, maths, physics, chemistry, biology. First time he's learning biology. First time he's learning chemistry. How does he see it? How does he understand it? What is his experience? What have you seen in changes in him? All the first things, if you're putting it together, you'll start seeing or getting to see what is his hidden talent, because all the interesting things that he does, or he takes interesting in the things he does, becomes his interest, further his career, also his passion. So this is first thing. And integrating of subjects that I said, it should not be just with, so this is for the schools and the teachers, if the subjects could be integrated, and even the students could be integrated, even the age groups could be integrated. And then so in a Gurukul system, there were no particular classrooms. Everybody was learning in the same space. And kids learn from each other also. Kids learn from the seniors also. And I think that's a very beautiful chemistry. Parents involving into your sharing, what did you do in difficulties, in forms of stories, are going to help them to do that. So careers, when you're choosing or finding, let it not be a mundane career. It should be connected with the interest of the child. So I feel art is a wonderful medium to explore, to understand, because art is not limited to just drawing and painting. It is drawing and painting is one of the tools, one of the modalities. Somebody is good in cooking, somebody is good in sports, somebody is good in speaking, somebody is good in presentation, somebody is good in embroidery, somebody is good in collection, somebody is good in research, analysis, somebody is good in making things out of hand, somebody is good in making things out of things. So these are different ways, and there could be different mediums like clay, paints, colors, embroidery, videos, collection of stamps, of collection of something, appreciating, speaking, mimicking, cooking, giving a feedback, presenting something. So these are all different ways of doing it. They are not professions until you make them a profession. And the forms are there. Now look at the forms that have been survived completely during the pandemic also, which was one of the very big lessons that we all need to take back, is all the kind of arts have survived. All the kind of arts have been explored. There were visual arts, dance, music, instruments, theater, mimicry, cooking, games, animations, um, a lot of it. And teaching becomes one of the biggest art, because you facilitate a teaching, you do not teach. So when we are looking at all this, what are we helping the kids in this everyday life to do? Through art, through these activities, through these ways of looking at life, through these integration programs, we are helping them to compose, be selfless, bring in joy, explore, experience, appreciate, nurture. We are teaching them how to express. We are asking them to experiment. We are asking them to present. We are asking them to communicate, to analyze, to give and take, share. So we are also adding values, mental and emotional elements of the whole being. And if I'm now looking at art with all the subjects that we learn, every subject with art is something that is coming as a career. So a child who's good in structure building can become an engineer, architect, or structural engineer or structural designer. He can become a product designer. He can become an automobile designer also. A child who's good in biology can get into pure sciences, pure medicines. But if he's blending it with art, he can become a chef, because that's where he sees the chemistry and the biology of things. Then he can become a research and developer into material and medium for design schools or design industry altogether. He can become a product designer. If he is taking psychology and art together, then they are doing strategies, they're doing visual communications, they're doing graphic designs, they're doing medias. So there's a combination of things that are there. We have to see these combinations. Today, there are so many approaches other than just one approach. Can we blend the two and see everything is possible? Creativity is not an option. Creativity is essential, is what I feel. So I hope, Aparna, I've answered your question. And is there anything more? Please do ask.
Very true, ma'am. Creativity is just a blend of all these things. And as a parent, it becomes very important to journal the crucial stages of our child so that we can encourage his initiation, innovation, and leadership qualities. Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, we come to an end of the question answers round. But I would like to surely mention that ma'am has really cleared all our doubts and made us aware that creativity isn't to be shown only in artwork, but our whole life has to be molded with creativity, as it is the most important human resource of all, because without creativity, there would be no progress at all. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hereby request Jacinta ma'am to present her views. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gitanjali. After hearing from you, we really feel happy to say that our school is in continuous hunt of searching talents in our students. We have given them different platforms to explore themselves, which enable the tendency to generate or recognize the ideas, alternatives, or possibilities which can be useful for solving problems. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable words of wisdom to our students, parents, and teachers. Thank you once again.
On behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School and the entire fraternity, my sincere thanks to the Almighty God for making this webinar a success. My heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Mrs. Sarita Dhimate ma'am, who spared her valuable time for our webinar. Ma'am, your thoughts have enlightened our minds and shown us a new path. A special thanks to our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar sir, who always inspires us to do our best. I also extend my gratitude to all the members of our education committee, principals, and teachers too. A very big thanks to our technical team for their untiring support. My sincere gratitude goes to all our parents, well-wishers, and all the viewers on Facebook. We look forward to have you all again in our next webinar. Thank you.
Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, Pune, India. Thanks all our viewers for giving their overwhelming response. Thanks to our today's eminent speaker. A special thanks to our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar. A big thanks to our organizing team, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel, Principal, Mr. Kalpesh Darji, Team Leader, Mrs. Sarika Paigude, Teacher, Mrs. Gitanjali Gullapelli, Teacher, Mrs. Itisha Shah, Teacher, Miss Bhavika Rathod, Teacher, Miss Urvisha Rathod, Teacher, Mrs. Aparna Dhaigude, Team Member. Once again, thank you all. Thank you all the viewers for watching this webinar. We look forward seeing you next Sunday for yet another interesting webinar. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.